Chosen one, stop for a moment. Do not rush past this. Do not treat this as noise. Something in your life has been trying to get your attention because money has been circling you, but it has not been landing the way it should. You felt it. You knew it. You sensed there was more. And that feeling was not pride. Your money was not lost. Your abundance was not cancelled. Your provision was not thrown away. It was hidden behind patterns you inherited, fears you never asked for, and a version of you that learned how to survive without knowing how to receive. That is why this message found you now, not last year, not when you begged, now. You have been asking why it feels so strange. You work hard, you show up, you carry people, you help when you barely have enough for yourself. And still, when the moment comes for overflow to stay in your hands, something seems to shift, delay, disappear, or move just beyond your reach. It feels personal. It feels unfair. You see others move forward. You watch doors open for people who did not fight half the battles you fought. You try to be happy for them. You smile. You clap. But somewhere deep inside, you wonder why heaven keeps letting you stand outside the gate while everyone else walks into rooms you prayed for. Listen carefully. This is not because you are cursed. This is not because God forgot your address. This is not because you were born under a small sky. The enemy wanted you to believe that lack was your identity, because if you ever discovered what was hidden inside your assignment, you would stop begging for crumbs. You are not broke in the way they think. You are blocked in a place they cannot see. There is a difference. A broke person has nothing coming. A blocked chosen one has rivers trying to move, but old gates are still closed inside the soul. Your issue is not only income. Your issue is permission. You have felt rich in your spirit. Be honest. You have carried visions that were bigger than your bank account. You have imagined homes, businesses, travel, peace, giving, freedom, and impact. Then you looked at your current life and felt ashamed for dreaming so big while your hands were still holding so little. That shame was never from God. Shame shrinks the receiver. Shame teaches the soul to apologize for wanting more. Shame makes a chosen one whisper when heaven told them to speak. And if shame can convince you that abundance is for other people, it can keep your money hidden right in front of you. This is why the words on that image shook something in you. You are richer than Elon Musk. Not because your account shows it today, not because the world has counted your value correctly, but because the wealth inside your assignment is not measured by their numbers, their headlines, or their systems of applause. There is a kind of wealth that begins as a seed. It hides in obedience. It hides in pain. It hides in the strange ideas that visit you when everyone else is asleep. And many chosen ones stay poor on the outside because they were trained to reject the very seed that was meant to become their overflow. You have been calling it bad luck. Heaven calls it misalignment. You have been calling it delay. Heaven calls it preparation. You have been calling it punishment. Heaven calls it protection. The money was hidden until the false version of you could no longer spend it, proving your worth to people who never saw you. That does not mean you are guilty. It means you were wounded. It means you learned survival before you learned receiving. It means you became strong in places where you were supposed to be safe. And now God is not just bringing money. God is healing the part of you that feels unsafe with more. You start questioning everything. What if this fails? What if I am not ready? What if people judge me? What if I lose it again? What if having more makes me less spiritual? What if I become like the people who hurt me? That storm inside you is not wisdom every time. Sometimes it is old scarcity wearing a holy voice. Chosen one, hear this with your whole spirit. Poverty is not proof of purity. Struggle is not proof of obedience. Empty hands do not make you more loved by God. There are seasons of testing, yes. There are seasons of pruning, yes. But permanent lack was never meant to become your name. You were not sent here to worship money. You were not sent here to chase gold. You were sent here with an assignment, and provision is one of the ways heaven funds obedience. When your hands are free from fear, Money can become a tool, not a master. It can serve purpose instead of stealing peace. That is why the attack around your finances has been so intense. It was never just about bills. It was never just about rent. It was never just about the number you see when you check what is left. The real battle has been over your ability to believe that receiving abundance does not make you dangerous. Think about the pattern. Every time you begin to rise, something pulls at you. A family emergency, a sudden expense, a strange delay, a person who needs saving, a memory that makes you shrink. And before you notice it, the money that was supposed to build your future is swallowed by the old version of your life. You kept saying, maybe next month. You kept saying, when things calm down. You kept saying, when I finally catch up. But the finish line kept moving, because the hidden system was not only around you, it was also inside the rhythm you were trained to accept. Survive, give, lose, restart, repeat. Your money was hidden in the places where you stopped expecting good. It was hidden behind the yes you gave when your soul wanted to say no. It was hidden behind the guilt that made you feel selfish for resting, receiving, charging, asking, building, choosing, and walking away from people who only loved your sacrifice. Your money was hidden behind your tolerance for crumbs. That may hurt to hear, but let it heal you. You accepted less because life trained you to be grateful for anything. You called it humility. You called it patience. But sometimes what you called patience was fear wearing a gentle face. The real you knows. The real you has always known. There is a version of you that does not panic when abundance arrives. There is a version of you that can hold more without losing peace. There is a version of you that can receive without apologizing, give without bleeding, and build without begging for permission. That version is waking up. You can feel it even now. Something in your chest is listening. Something in your mind is becoming quiet. And something in your spirit is saying, this is why I could never fully settle in lack, because lack was never my final language. It was only a foreign place I survived. So do not click away from this moment in your soul. The next part is not just encouragement. It is the reframe that will break the lie you have carried for years. Because your money was not hidden because heaven hated you. It was hidden because your old identity could not carry what your new season is about to release. Let me reframe your reality right now. You are not lazy. You are not too late. You are not cursed. You are not a mistake that heaven has been tolerating. The lie told you that if money has not stayed with you, then something must be wrong with your value. That lie ends here. You have judged yourself through seasons that were never simple. You looked at your effort, then you looked at your results, and the gap between them made you feel small. But not every delay is failure. Sometimes delay is the place where God separates your true identity from the survival story that tried to name you. You kept asking, why do I keep starting over? Why do I keep getting close? Why does help come late? Why do doors open for others while mine feel locked from the inside? The answer is deeper than luck. Your money was hidden behind a version of you that learned to expect loss before blessing could speak. That version of you had reasons. It was built in pressure. It was built in disappointment. It was built when promises broke, when people left, when bills came faster than answers, and when your heart learned to prepare for pain before it even arrived. You were not weak. You were trained. So when abundance began moving toward you, your spirit wanted it, but your inner pattern questioned it. You prayed for more, then feared what more might cost. You asked for open doors, then stood at the doorway, wondering if you were being tricked. This is how hidden money stays hidden. The old identity says, do not expect too much. The old identity says, stay grateful for crumbs. The old identity says, people like us do not rise that far. But the voice of God does not speak like your fear. Heaven does not bless you just enough to keep you ashamed. Chosen one, you must understand this. Scarcity is not only an empty wallet. Scarcity is a language. It is a way of breathing, choosing, waiting, thinking, loving, giving, and shrinking. It teaches you to see danger in increase, guilt in rest, and pride in the simple act of receiving what was assigned to you. That is why this message is not only about money, it is about the permission to receive. Many chosen ones can suffer with strength, but they cannot receive with peace. They can carry burdens, but they panic when somebody offers help. They can bless others, but they feel unworthy when heaven sends something back. You were praised for being strong. You were praised for needing nothing. You were praised for surviving quietly. And over time, that praise became a prison, because the part of you that should have learned how to receive, learned how to disappear. You called it maturity, but sometimes it was fear. This is where the hidden gate begins to open. You do not need to hate your old self. That version protected you when nobody else knew how. That version got you through nights you never talk about, but the same version that helped you survive cannot lead you into overflow. Overflow requires a new agreement. It requires you to stop apologizing for becoming stable. It requires you to stop making your poverty a sacrifice for people who never planned to honor your pain. It requires you to understand that God can use wealth in clean hands, healed hands, and obedient hands. You are a cycle breaker. That is not a small title. A cycle breaker is often born inside the very pattern they are called to destroy. You may have seen lack in your family, fear around money, arguments over bills, quiet shame, unpaid dreams, and people who stopped believing more was possible. This is why the pain felt so personal. The battle attacked your hope. It attacked your confidence. It attacked your ability to imagine. It made you feel foolish for expecting a different future. And yet, even after all of that, something in you still refused to accept lack as the final word. That refusal is holy. That inner knowing is not greed. That vision is not arrogance. It is a signal from the part of you that remembers who you were before fear trained you to live smaller. Heaven has been whispering through that signal, telling you that the hidden thing can still be released. But release does not always begin with money appearing first. Sometimes release begins when your mind stops treating increase like danger. Sometimes it begins when your body stops bracing for loss. Sometimes it begins when your soul stops asking permission from people who only benefited from your smallness. There is a state where the mind is guarded. It expects trouble. It searches for proof that something will go wrong. In that state, even blessings can feel unsafe, because the inner system is still preparing for another fall, while heaven is trying to lift you into another level. There is also a calmer state. In that state, you can listen. You can notice timing. You can stop fighting every open door. You can receive without panic and move without desperation. This is why some breakthroughs are not only spiritual, they are also connected to what your inner world has been rehearsing. Later, I will show you a simple sound-based tool that supports this shift. Not because a tool replaces faith, never. Faith is the foundation. But sometimes a chosen one needs a practical way to quiet the survival pattern long enough to hear what heaven has been saying the whole time. This is how many doors are missed. Not because they were not sent, not because you were not chosen, but because fear made the knock sound like another threat. Fear made provision look suspicious. Fear made rest feel irresponsible. Fear made receiving feel dangerous to the part of you that only knew struggle. This is the shift. You are moving from survival to receiving. You are moving from apology to authority. You are moving from crumbs to stewardship. You are moving from panic to peace. And as this shift begins, the hidden money does not need to chase you. It can finally recognize you. Do not misunderstand this. You are not being told to worship wealth. You are being told to stop worshiping lack. You are not being told to become greedy. You are being told to stop calling fear holy. The old season trained you to survive, but the new season requires you to receive. That is why your next level will feel unfamiliar at first. Peace may feel strange. Stability may feel strange. Help may feel strange. Extra may feel strange. but strange does not mean wrong. Sometimes strange is just the feeling of your soul stepping into a room your trauma never allowed you to enter. And this is where Scripture has been pointing all along. The hidden provision, the delayed door, the prepared table, the wilderness lesson, the prison season, the field before the palace. Heaven has always known how to hide abundance until the chosen one is ready to carry it without becoming owned by it. So stay with this. The next part will show you the pattern through the lives of those who were chosen before you. Joseph had provision hidden in a prison season. David had kingship hidden in a field. Moses had deliverance hidden in the wilderness. And your story is not as random as it looks. Now look at the pattern. Joseph had provision hidden inside a prison season. David had kingship hidden while he was still standing in a field. Moses had deliverance hidden in the wilderness. None of them looked like the promise at first, because heaven often hides abundance inside places the world would never search. Joseph did not look wealthy when he was betrayed. He did not look chosen when he was falsely accused. He did not look promoted when he was forgotten in prison. And yet, while people thought his life was going down, heaven was hiding provision inside his pain, timing, wisdom, and obedience. That is why you cannot judge your future by your current room. Joseph was not poor because he lacked destiny. He was hidden because his destiny was too connected to nations, famine, family restoration, and divine timing. What looked like delay was a corridor, and what looked like loss was secretly positioning. Some of you are in that same corridor. You feel forgotten. You feel unseen. You feel like your gift has no place to breathe. But heaven has not misplaced you. The hidden money attached to your assignment may be waiting for the moment your wisdom becomes stronger than your wound. Joseph could not carry palace provision with prison bitterness. He had to become clear. He had to become steady. He had to interpret from a clean place. And when the door finally opened, he did not just receive money for himself. He became a channel of provision for many lives around him. This is what separates chosen wealth from ordinary greed. Greed says, I need more so I can feel bigger. Chosen wealth says, I receive more because my assignment requires stewardship. Greed is hungry for attention. Stewardship is ready for responsibility. And heaven knows the difference before the world sees the result. Now think about David. He was anointed before he was announced. He carried kingship before he carried a crown. He was chosen in a house where even his own family did not think to call him forward. The oil found him in the field, because heaven does not need human permission to identify royalty. David had wealth hidden inside obscurity. He had authority hidden inside shepherd work. He had victory hidden inside lonely practice. The silence, the rejection, the song, the field, all of it was training him for a door that looked sudden to everyone else. People may look at you and think nothing is happening. They may think you are behind. They may think your life is too small for the size of your dream. But David teaches us that hidden seasons are not empty seasons, because the field can carry a crown before the palace ever admits your name. You have been learning things in secret. You learned how to keep going with no applause. You learned how to fight when nobody clapped. You learned how to worship in pressure. And now, the abundance connected to your life is not just about comfort. It is about the authority your hidden season built in you. Then, look at Moses. Deliverance was hidden in the wilderness. He had a calling before he had confidence. He had a mission before he had language for it. He ran from one life, lived in another, and still heaven knew exactly where to find him when the time came to send him back with power. Moses did not feel ready. Many chosen ones do not. He questioned his voice. He questioned his ability. He questioned whether people would believe him. And, if you are honest, you have questioned the same things, because the size of your calling has often felt bigger than your confidence. But God did not wait for Moses to feel impressive. God met him in a burning bush moment, right in the middle of ordinary ground. Heaven touches a normal day, and suddenly the place you thought was wasted becomes the place where your assignment begins speaking again. So when you feel hidden, do not assume you are rejected. Joseph was hidden, David was hidden, Moses was hidden. Even seeds are hidden before harvest. Gold is hidden before it is refined. Oil is hidden before it is poured. And sometimes your money is hidden because your assignment is still being uncovered. There is also a mechanism inside this. I want you to hear it without fear. Your spirit can believe one thing while your mind keeps rehearsing another. You can pray for overflow while your nervous system prepares for disaster. You can ask for provision while your inner pattern keeps expecting the door to shut. This is why some blessings feel close but cannot settle. A tense mind can turn even an open door into a threat. A guarded heart can turn help into suspicion. A survival pattern can turn increase into pressure. And if your body has learned lack as safety, abundance can feel strange at first. There is a stressed state where the mind runs fast. It scans for danger. It expects loss. It tries to control every outcome. It reacts before it receives. Many people live there for years and call it normal, because they have never known what it feels like to be safe inside themselves. There is also a calmer state where the mind can listen. In that place, you notice timing, you hear wisdom, you stop confusing panic with discernment. You can make choices from peace instead of pressure, and that is when you begin to recognize doors that fear used to make you run from. This is why alignment matters. Not hype, not fantasy. Alignment. When your spirit, mind, and body stop fighting each other, you become easier for provision to locate. You stop sabotaging what you prayed for. You stop shrinking when increase arrives. You stop calling every new thing a trap. Think about how many times fear spoke first. An opportunity came, and fear said, "This is too good." A person offered help, and fear said, "There must be a hidden price." A new idea rose inside you, and fear said, "Who do you think you are?" That voice was not always wisdom. Wisdom is clean, fear is loud. Wisdom can warn you without shrinking you. Fear tries to protect you by keeping you small. Wisdom brings clarity, fear brings panic. And many chosen ones have mistaken panic for spiritual discernment because survival trained their bodies to feel unsafe around anything unfamiliar. This is the part that explains so much. You can love God and still need healing in your receiving system. You can be chosen and still carry financial fear. You can have a powerful calling and still be tense around money, because trauma does not disappear just because destiny is real. That is why heaven is not only trying to give you more. Heaven is trying to make you whole enough to hold more. Because if abundance comes to an unhealed receiver, it can become pressure, confusion, guilt, or waste. But when abundance comes to a healed steward, it becomes order, freedom, generosity, and impact. This is not about chasing money. This is about becoming aligned with the provision assigned to your purpose. Joseph did not chase Pharaoh. David did not beg Samuel for oil. Moses did not manufacture the burning bush. They were positioned, processed, and called forward when the hidden thing was ready. Stay with this, because the next truth may shake you. Your money was not only hidden from you. In some moments, it was hidden by the version of you that learned to survive without receiving. And once you see that clearly, the gate can finally begin to open. Here is the truth the enemy never wanted you to hear. Your money was not only hidden from you. In some moments, it was hidden by the version of you that learned to survive without receiving. That may shake you. Let it shake you, because what shakes the lie can also open the gate. You said you wanted overflow, you meant it. You prayed for it, you cried for it. But when increase came close, something inside you tightened, because a part of you still believed that more would bring danger, judgment, pressure, or loss. That part was not evil, it was wounded. You asked for a door. Then the door opened. You looked at it. You questioned it. You delayed. You wondered if it was too good to be true. And while heaven was trying to move you forward, your old survival pattern was trying to pull you back into what felt familiar. This is the hidden blocker. It is not always a person. It is not always an enemy. It is not always a curse. Sometimes the blocker is the agreement you made with lack, when pain convinced you that expecting more would only lead to disappointment again. You learn to survive with little. You learn to stretch what barely existed. You learn to smile when your heart was tired. You learn to say it is fine when it was not fine. And, after a while, your soul became loyal to struggle, because struggle was the only place it knew. That loyalty must break, not your humility, not your gratitude, not your wisdom. The loyalty to lack must break, because you cannot keep calling every closed season a personality, and you cannot keep dressing fear in spiritual language just because it has been with you for years. You are not dishonoring God by receiving. You are not betraying your past by rising. You are not becoming arrogant because you no longer want to live crushed. The enemy twisted humility until it sounded like poverty, and many chosen ones believed they had to stay empty to stay holy. That lie ends now. Poverty is not the proof that you love God. Obedience is. Sacrifice is not always holy when it is demanded by people who only love what they can drain from you. There is a difference between serving from overflow and bleeding so others can avoid responsibility. You have given too much from empty places. You have said yes when your body was begging you to rest. You have helped people who disappeared when you needed help. You have carried burdens that were never assigned to you, and then wondered why your own harvest kept getting delayed. This is why your money was hidden behind boundaries. It was hidden behind the no you were afraid to say. It was hidden behind the rest you felt guilty taking. It was hidden behind the price you were afraid to charge, the gift you were afraid to use, and the door you were afraid to enter. You kept asking God to bless your hands, but your hands were full of everyone else. You kept asking for overflow, but every time a little came, the old pattern found a way to give it away. Spend it in panic, rescue someone, or prove you were still good enough to be loved. Chosen one, this is not condemnation. This is liberation. You are being shown the pattern, so you can stop calling it your destiny. You are being shown the gate, so you can stop standing outside of it. You are being shown the wound, because the wound is not allowed to rule your wealth anymore. Your hidden money is connected to your healed identity. When you stop feeling guilty for being stable, the gate moves. When you stop apologizing for wanting peace, the gate moves. When you stop thinking abundance will make you unsafe, the gate moves. And when your receiving system heals, provision can finally stay. Some of you are afraid to outgrow your family story. You love them. You honor them. You remember where you came from. But deep inside, you fear that if you rise too far, people will call you different, proud, selfish, or changed. So you keep shrinking to keep the room comfortable. But God did not call you to remain small so others can feel unchallenged. Your obedience may disturb people who were comfortable with your limitation. Your increase may expose the agreements they made with lack. And your freedom may offend those who benefited from your fear. Let them be uncomfortable. You are not rising to shame them. You are rising because heaven called your name. You are rising because the next generation needs a different story. You are rising because somebody in your bloodline had to stop confusing struggle with loyalty. This is the moment where you must decide. Will you keep protecting the version of you that can only survive? Or will you let God introduce you to the version that can receive, steward, build, bless, and rest? You cannot carry hidden wealth with an identity that still expects rejection. The old you expects loss. The new you expects instruction. The old you panics when money comes. The new you asks how to steward it. The old you hides from opportunity. The new you tests the door with wisdom, then moves when peace and obedience agree. And there is a reason this matters now. Your inner state affects what you notice, what you accept, what you sabotage, and what you can hold. When you are tense, you miss signals. When you are rushed, you make fear-based choices. When you are exhausted, even blessing can feel like pressure. That is why this is not just spiritual language. Your mind has patterns, your body has memory, your nervous system can become used to survival. And when survival becomes normal, peace can feel suspicious, rest can feel lazy, and abundance can feel like something that must be lost before it hurts you. This is why I placed the wealth signal below this message. It is not a magic ritual. It is not a replacement for prayer. It is a simple 5-minute audio designed to support the shift from tense survival into a calmer alpha state, where your mind can stop fighting and begin receiving. You listen with headphones. You give yourself 5 quiet minutes. You allow the noise to settle. You let your inner world stop bracing for disaster. And as your mind begins to leave that guarded beta pattern, you create space to hear wisdom without panic and move without desperation. Treat it as an alignment step, not as a desperate purchase, not as a strange promise, not as a shortcut around obedience. If this message is exposing your pattern, then the wealth signal may be the simple daily tool that helps you practice receiving from a calmer place. The access is $39. It also comes with support materials and a full money-back guarantee, so this step does not have to sit on your shoulders like another risk. But only take it if your spirit recognizes that this is not about chasing money. This is about becoming safe enough to receive. Because that is the deeper issue. You are not only asking for more to arrive, you are learning how to stop rejecting more when it comes. You are learning how to stop panicking when doors open. You are learning how to stop shrinking when your name is called into rooms you once felt unworthy to enter. Hear this clearly. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to be stable. You are allowed to have more than enough. You are allowed to bless others without becoming empty. You are allowed to build something clean, strong, peaceful, and lasting with the provision God sends into your hands. The hiding season is cracking. The false agreement is breaking. The fear that made you flinch at abundance is losing its grip. But now, I need to seal this over your identity. Because if your language does not change, your season will try to open while your old self keeps closing the door. The hiding season is ending. Say that inside your spirit. The hiding season is ending. Not because you forced the door, not because you finally became perfect, but because the false agreement around your receiving is losing its power, and the version of you that survived lack is no longer allowed to speak louder than God. You are not the same person who entered this message. Something has shifted. A lie was exposed. A gate was named. A wound was brought into the light. And when a hidden wound is brought before heaven, it can no longer keep controlling your hands, your choices, your money, or your future. You are not begging for crumbs anymore. You are not standing outside the table anymore. You are not apologizing for wanting stability anymore. Heaven is not asking you to worship money. Heaven is asking you to stop letting fear decide how much provision you are allowed to hold. Money is not your master. Money is not your savior. Money is not your identity. But provision in clean hands can become shelter, movement, generosity, freedom, obedience, and relief. When God sends resources to a healed steward, those resources do not corrupt purpose. They help purpose breathe. That is why your language must change. Stop saying, "I am always broke." Stop saying, "Money never stays with me." Stop saying, "People like me do not receive that kind of blessing." Every time you repeat the old sentence, you give the old gate permission to remain closed. Speak differently now. My provision can find me. My hands can hold clean abundance. My mind can leave survival. My spirit can receive without fear. My life can become proof that God does not waste pain, and that the chosen one who was hidden can still be called forward. The enemy wanted you ashamed of your desire for more. But more is not evil when more is surrendered. More peace, more wisdom, more order, more ability to give, more space to obey, more time to build, more freedom to breathe, more provision to answer the assignment that keeps pulling on your soul. So release the guilt, release the fear, release the old loyalty to financial struggle. You can love your family and still break the pattern. You can honor where you came from and still refuse to die in the same limitation. You can remember the pain without building your future inside it. Now listen carefully. After this message, do not just feel emotional and return to the same inner rhythm. Do not cry for a moment and then speak lack over yourself again. Do not feel the fire and then walk back into the same fear-based choices that kept the gate closed. Take one aligned step, not 10, not a frantic plan, not a desperate chase. One step. Clean your language. Guard your peace. Stop rescuing what God never assigned to you. Make room for what belongs to your purpose. Because provision cannot settle where chaos is still treated like home. And if this message exposed the exact pattern you have been living under, use the link below this video and begin with the wealth signal today. Give yourself 5 quiet minutes. Put on your headphones. Let your mind come out of survival and return to a calmer place of receiving. Do not approach it like a desperate buyer. Approach it like a chosen one, taking an aligned step. It is a simple audio tool. It is not magic. It does not replace prayer. It supports the shift from a tense survival pattern into a calmer alpha state, where wisdom can become easier to hear. The access is $39. The step is simple. The time is small. And there is a money-back guarantee, so you do not have to carry this like another heavy risk. If your spirit recognizes the timing, do not ignore the practical door just because it looks simple. 5 minutes can become a signal. 5 minutes can become a pause. 5 minutes can become a place where panic stops leading. You are not trying to force money from heaven. You are practicing the state of a person who can receive, steward, and move without being ruled by fear. And while you take that step, make this declaration over your life. I release the fear of receiving. I break agreement with scarcity. I reject the shame that made me shrink. I am not unworthy of provision. I am not disqualified from overflow. My hidden wealth can find me now. Say it slowly. My hidden wealth can find me now. Not because I chase it, not because I worship it, not because I prove myself to the world. It can find me because my identity is changing, my agreement is changing, and my hands are becoming safe for what heaven assigns. You are the hidden heir. You are the cycle breaker. You are the one whose abundance was delayed, not denied. You are the one who survived lack, but was never meant to marry it. You are the one God can teach to receive without pride and give without emptiness. Do not be afraid of stability. Do not be afraid of peace. Do not be afraid of having enough. Do not be afraid when your life stops looking like constant battle. Some chosen ones become so familiar with warfare that peace feels suspicious, but peace is not a trap when God is the source. Let the old tension leave your shoulders. Let the old sentence leave your mouth. Let the old fear leave your decisions. You do not have to keep living as if every blessing is about to disappear. You can hold provision with wisdom. You can move slowly. You can ask God for direction and still receive. There will be people who do not understand your shift. Let them wonder. There will be voices that accuse you of changing. Let them speak. There will be old patterns that invite you back into panic. Let them pass. You are not returning to the cage just because the cage remembers your name. Your money was hidden from the false version of you. Your provision was waiting for the healed steward. Your assignment was waiting for the moment you stopped, confusing lack with holiness. And now, as your agreement changes, what belongs to your purpose can begin to move toward the real you. If this message confirmed what your spirit already knew, seal it in the comments. Type, "My hidden wealth can find me now." Do not type it as performance. Type it as agreement. Let your own eyes see the sentence. Let your own spirit hear the declaration. Let the old story know it has been replaced. Before you leave, remember this. You are not richer than the world because of a number on a screen. You are richer because the assignment inside you carries value that the world cannot measure. You are richer because your obedience can change rooms, bloodlines, futures. and lives you have not even met yet. So walk differently, breathe differently, choose differently, receive differently. When fear says you will lose it, answer with peace. When shame says you do not deserve it, answer with identity. When lack calls your name, answer with authority. I am the chosen one whose hidden wealth can find me now. The hiding season is ending. The false agreement is broken. The old fear is losing its voice. You are not begging for crumbs anymore. You are not apologizing for abundance anymore. You are stepping into healed receiving, clean stewardship, and divine provision. What belongs to you by assignment can now find you.